My name's Tammy Studebaker, and my son's here with me today to really talk about what has happened to his life. But basically, it was a misdiagnosis when he was 11. And I just need you to understand what type of kid he was. He was a black belt in karate. He had a GPA of 3.72. He was in the Honor Society. A bright, bright kid. And for the past 6 years, because his went undiagnosed for almost a year, he's been battling multiple health issues. Seizures were not uncommon in our house. He tried to go back to school on numerous occasions and was unable to. He missed his entire high school life with his friends. It's been devastating for this child, and not only for him, but so many other kids. So I'm going to let him speak for himself because he's actually able to today. Thank you. Yep.
All right, can you hear me? All right, cool. My name, Parker Studebaker. I suffer from Lyme disease. I became sick when I was 11 years old. I'm now 17 years old. Because I was unable to get a clear diagnosis at the beginning of my illness, I have missed, as my mom said, many of my high school years, and I actually had to drop out of high school. I had a GPA, as my mom says, actually 3.73, not 3.72, just saying. But I was a black belt in karate. I played soccer, numerous instruments. Since this happened, my life has never been the same since the onset. If only one of the 10 different doctors I visited had told me that the Lyme test was not conclusive, I'd be in a very different place today instead of here. I am asking today that you do something so this does not happen to others, especially kids like me. I am now getting my GED with the hopes of going to college in the fall to study political science, and I hope I can make something good come out of this mess that so many of us have to deal with. For me, my health will never be the same, and my life will not be easy. It will be difficult for me to stay well and live life as I should have been allowed to. Please stop this from happening and do something here today. Please pass Senate Bill 926. Thank you. When I was 11 years old, we were going to upstate New York, and I got flu-like symptoms, very high fever on the ride there, and we went to a clinic there, and they said get tested for Lyme's disease. So we did. When we came back, they tested us, and it was negative. They said, you're fine, go on your way, and well, here we are 6 years later. Before I got sick, I was a black belt, sports, soccer, and played multiple instruments. I was a very energetic kid, and then nothing. And even a year ago, I wasn't doing anything, so me even being here today is a very big deal. It's come a long way. I wasn't eating, sleeping barely. It was rough, but I've come a long way since, and here now. I don't know if there's any way other than to just see it. I mean, it's one of those things where I would have been like, okay, that seems a bit dramatic, but no, there's no way.
What would you describe as the worst case scenario for this disease when you're dealing with it?
Probably just the loss of hope, just no hope, because everywhere you turn, people are skeptical. It's very difficult. There's just not a lot of support there. It becomes very hopeless. It was too much. I was trying and trying. Teachers were skeptical of it. People were skeptical. It was too much. And so I figured, what's the point? I need my health. That's my biggest priority. So I dropped out, and now I'm getting my GED and looking to go to college.
So how do you currently feel as compared to maybe the hardest that the disease has hit you?
It's a million times better. Like, there's no comparison to the two.
What is the difference that made you feel better?
I guess it was just the time and the treatments finally working over time. It was just you had to try a lot of things, and it can be really tough if you don't get that diagnosis right away. And
how old were you when it started to turn around?
Probably last year. Yeah, about 16.
But what did it feel like mentally to just have a name for what you were going through?
That I think was more for my mom. I think that was a much bigger deal for her. For me, it didn't matter. It was like, I'm still, like, what does it matter if I'm in bed, no matter what it is, I'm still stuck here. So this is still my situation. So
the physical turnaround was momentous.
Yeah, that changed the mental. The mental didn't change. The whole time I really believed that somehow it was going to get better, but that gets shaken after 6 years.
So now you are going to get your GED. Like,
yes.
What's happening in your life right
Well, right now I'm going to get my GED. I'm getting ready to go to college. I want to study political science, and that's pretty much the plan. I would like to make a difference out of all this. I don't want it to all be for naught.
So do you want to be an advocate? Do you want to be a politician? What's your goal?
I'm not sure yet. That's still up in the air. I mean, today seeing the people there, that was pretty cool for me. I thought that was pretty awesome. So.
How many times have you testified?
This was actually my first. This was the first one I've ever done. I came and watched the testimony a week ago, I believe it was, and I watched that and that was pretty cool. And so when I had the opportunity to today, I jumped at it. I feel like I need to do that. I need to do something to help change it because you can't go through that and not want to do something about it. It's life shattering and altering. So yeah, she's just always been my little sister, and we're friends and stuff, and we're very close, obviously, because I've sort of been stuck around her, and so yeah, I'm always home. So yeah, so we get along, and yeah, so she's seen it, and I can't imagine that was fun for her to watch. But when I was about, I think 12, because at first when I first got sick I was 11, I thought it was fun. I was like, I'm gonna miss a week or two of school. Woo, I got like the flu or something. I get a little break. And then it hits you, and you need to grow up because you don't have a choice. This is your life now, and it's gonna be tough. And about 13 or 14, it hit me, and I was pretty wrecked. It was bad times. You just gotta keep holding on and keep trying new things and do whatever you have to get better. You just can't give up, and that's it. No matter how bad it is, you just gotta keep going.
It was devastating, but I was so determined to help him because he was dying before my eyes. And, to see him deteriorate, you can't even imagine as a parent to see your child go from this active, happy kid to on a couch in a fetal position, unable to even read. So I was very determined that I was going to figure it out. And as a matter of fact, the last specialist we went to an oncologist because they thought possibly it was cancer. And he looked at me after looking at Parker's blood work for an hour and a half, and he said, "You know what, Mom?" He said, "You're right. Your son is really sick." He said, "Do not lose hope, press on, and help him get an answer." Well, they never diagnosed us. They said he had Raynaud's because of the neuropathy in his hands. But you've got to understand, he had never.
Just for my benefit,
Yeah,
what's
Raynaud's is like a loss of circulation in your hands, so you get the colorful.
They were diagnosing a symptom.
Right.
Okay.
So, but I mean, this was not a little bit. I mean, Parker, his fingertips were turning black. And this had started, with this onset of this illness. So it was just one thing on top of another, It was just nonstop trying to figure out what was going on. And, one of the neurologists we went to said, "Mom, I would just send him back to school." And I said, "Are you kidding me? Like, look at my son, So it was a really tough journey, but I will say I'm so not alone in this. I mean, you have to understand, I am among thousands and thousands of people going through this exact same thing that we went through. People have lived it and breathed it and gotten to the other side, and now we're on the other side, so I feel really good to be able to help people who have no hope. And that's why we're here today, and that's why Parker came, because we did get to the other side of this, despite all the hurdles and all the difficult, emotional, depressing times that you didn't even know what tomorrow was going to bring. To sit there and watch your child who you thought might not live till the morning I just can't even explain how bad that is.
Once you got on the antibiotics, is that what made the turnaround?
It was a number of things. The antibiotics helped, but we've done so many different treatments. We've done herbal, natural, diet change, you name it. If we would have only been diagnosed, here's the thing. When Parker had the clinical onset of Lyme disease in upstate New York, where I'm from, I was going to a high school reunion, they clearly said, "You know what? This looks like Lyme disease to us. Take him back and have him tested." And you know what? Right then and there, if we would have known that test was ineffective and we could have treated him, we would not be in this place. I mean, to me, that is just unbelievable. And you know, so why wouldn't you tell people that the test is ineffective and help people so this doesn't happen and destroy their lives?